What's up everybody, Matt Moran here for another quick drive video. So this time I'm driving the all-new 2018 Honda Accord. Now this is the 2.0T Touring model, which means this one has the detuned Civic Type R motor in it. In this application does I think about 270 horsepower. Still should be very punchy though here in the Touring trim. This has the 10-speed automatic here in these. And yeah, so first thing I noticed, I just put it in the sport mode and it's gotten a little more aggressive there with the gearing and stuff. But it is really nice in here so far. That's the first thing, is this interior on these new ones is so cool. You know, just I got this awesome new infotainment system that looks really nice here. You have the volume knob that's returned, as well as a tune knob here on the Hondas, and a really nice widescreen setup. It has Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. The gauge cluster is has an analog speedometer, but then the rest is all digital. Really a cool look to it as well. And whenever I put it into sport mode, it automatically pulls up a boost gauge there for me, as well as showing the tachometer more predominantly, and you have some red accenting going on as well there. The seats are very comfortable here so far in this as well, and they feel, you know, pretty nice. And everything, you know, there's no gear shifter anymore. You just have buttons here for the gears, which is really cool to have. And so everything in this interior is just completely redone, but just everything feels nice. You have metal knobs here for the climate controls and everything, and just about everything about this vehicle is really nice. But let's turn onto the straight road here, see how the power is. Right. Man, it pulls good. I mean, I gotta say, I don't think you're gonna miss the V6 much, because this turbo 4-cylinder is strong. It pulls really, really well. So yeah, you know, you can get this 2-liter turbo in the higher trims, or you can also just do the standard, I think it's 1.5 liter turbo engine as well. But this 2-liter is great, and the greatest thing about these new Accords is you can get them in a manual even with this higher performing engine. So there's the sport trim, and that's the only trim where you can get the manual, but that's okay, because sport trim with this bigger motor, you don't get quite as many of the luxuries and the safety equipment and stuff, but you can have a manual transmission Honda Accord with a detuned Type R motor. Sounds like an awesome, you know, family car for those that are enthusiasts. Unfortunately, I don't have that one to try out here. Maybe eventually I'll get to drive one of those. But I gotta say, you know, even we'll take it out of sport mode here and just cruise here, and it's really nice and refined. It's so smooth. I mean, these roads are pretty nice, you know, as far as pavement goes. So not too taxing on the suspension, but it just, you can tell that it's just a really nice, smooth ride. You don't hear too much wind noise. You know, it's really quite refined in here, and it's actually a nice thing to drive as far as visibility goes too. You know, you have a little bit of a hood there, but overall, I mean, you know, you have really good view forward with a large windshield, and it doesn't feel too big or anything, even though the Accord I think has gotten bigger. You know, and I absolutely love the looks of this thing, by the way. As another side note, the looks on this new Accord I think are spectacular. The back end isn't quite as awesome looking as the front in my opinion, but the front especially looks really cool, and I think they did a really good job with, you know, making it conservative enough that it's not going to hurt anyone's feelings, but it does look very sharp and futuristic at the same time, and overall it looks great. But yeah, this infotainment system, this brand new one, I really just enjoy it. I just want to keep talking about it, because it's just, you have these nice little tactile buttons that stick out from the screen here, so it's not capacitive touch. You just press a little button to take you to your main, you know, menus there, and it's just really, you know, nicely set up with different colors for everything, so it's very easy to figure out what's what, and you know, it's within easy reach, and like I said, all the knobs and everything feel great, and they just really did a good job on the interior on these new Accords. It's really nice. So we'll put it in a sport mode here and turn down onto a back road and see how it does around a few corners here, shall we? All right. It actually handles pretty flatly. We had the traction control system kick on there a little bit. I'm sure being front wheel drive and having 270 horsepower probably wants to spin those front tires every once in a while, but that's okay with me. It just adds to the drama and excitement. But this thing actually, especially in sport mode, the steering weight gets a little bit heavier. Throttle response is pretty sharp here as far as turbocharged cars go, at least. You know, brakes have a nice bite right at the top of the pedal there. Everything just feels very tuned in to every one of your inputs, and just, it feels really good so far. I mean, there aren't too many corners around here to really test it a whole lot, but so far, I mean, it feels fairly flat, you know, again, for a comfortable, soft, you know, family car. It's not something that's going to punish you if you happen to go around a few corners at a quicker speed. But we have this new 10-speed automatic, so let's try that out and see how it does on the manual shifts. Downshifts are pretty quick so far. Let's go for another acceleration and see about these upshifts. Once they go back into second, there's first. Went back into second for me, but okay, so it'll upshift for you automatically, even whenever you have it in manual mode and want it to stay in manual mode. But it pulls really well. I mean, even though it was a little distracting there with the transmission doing its own thing, it's not the fastest of shifts, but you know, for an Accord, I think it's acceptable. It's not a sports car. It doesn't feel like a sports sedan with the speeds of the shifts, unfortunately. But, you know, it's quick enough. You know, you don't have to wait around for it too long. But it's not as fast as the dual clutch or even the ZF 8-speed by any means. It's not even close to that. But it is a good transmission, I think, nonetheless. And, you know, then you can put it up into the higher gears and let it do its thing, and you can cruise at 10th gear or 9. It's now automatically downshifting to 9th gear, and then you can cruise at 1,200 RPMs at 55 miles an hour and get really great fuel economy. So really an interesting thing here. But yeah, I mean, that's about all I can really glean from the Accord here in my quick little drive time that I have. Not too many other corners or anything to take it around. But overall, I'm pretty impressed with it, and hopefully I can get one of these as a press vehicle to review for you guys and give some more in-depth thoughts on it, especially if I can get the sport model with the stick. That would be the one that I'd really be curious about the most. But yeah, overall, it's, I mean, really nice interior, really nice exterior, really great to drive. I think, Honda definitely has a winner on their hands here with the next-gen Accord. It's really well done, I think. But anyway, let me know your thoughts about the new Accord in the comments below. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.